my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Steven, and it's the Monday Raw Dog special.
Raw dog, baby, raw dog.
That was Steven's idea that it's Raw Dog. Um, so
Well, it's
basically,
because it's raw dog because we're showing raw books. We're
Raw
showing
books
we're showing really nice raw books. It's always we do tend to be heavy-handed with a lot of the
with the
slabs,
slabs. Yeah.
but in truth, there are an awful lot of raw books that we get because they aren't slabbed, and that they have not yet been slabbed. And it's
hmm
also it is, and a lot of the purists will say that
Oh,
it's fun to be able to very carefully open the book and look at inside and vibe on what you're seeing actually, rather than look at a something on screen, a digital representation of what it is, to actually have the book OG, opened up and reading it.
hmm So with this in mind, though, we are both bringing, like you were talking about that you're putting stuff into your safe and you're putting your
Yes.
slabs in there and some raw books. And these
Mm-hmm.
were the books that were going to go into your safe, and they're kind of your biggest books for your raw books.
This I
I,
have.
I,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So just to finish the story,
Sure.
that's your side of it. My side of it is these are the books that I probably should get graded at some point. They, I know you heard this many times, but I plan to get them graded at some point. And these are all books that are my kind of my biggest raw books.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of $1,000 up kind of level of
Mm.
books. So I brought about 60 to show. So it's like a
Wow.
ton of value that you're going to get out of this video. So yeah, so there's some really big books, some major ones that you just don't ever see actually. Um,
I will say that mine are not in that vicinity. Some are.
mhm.
There are some that are, but it's rather than thousands of dollars, it is many hundreds of dollars. But
Yeah, some
also
of them are in the
it
hundreds of
also
dollars, but some of them are, yeah.
but my thing on this is that these are the books that, if for some reason, God forbid, something would happen, these
hmm
would be the ones I would be content to have to start, as the seedlings, of what I have. But let's face it, if you own 55 long boxes, or however many long boxes of books you own, there is no way that you can fireproof that number of books, and there's no way that you can insure that number of books, because the cost of the insurance is so ghastly and ungodly that you
hmm
have to invest in proper
Yeah,
locks
I looked
and
into
steel
the
doors and all
costs.
that stuff,
Yeah,
which is what I did. Yeah.
yeah, the cost of insurance was they quoted me between 50 and 70,000. I'm like per year.
A
So it's like,
year. A
yeah,
year, yeah. And you go,
it's
well,
like
that's
no.
that's that's a few books, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, I'll just get a
I mean,
Batman one instead.
Even Canadian, that's a few books.
Yes. So, okay, so we'll get right into it in a second.
Okay.
We're gonna first say hi to the chat. Hi to the chat. It's like a dad joke that just keeps on ringing in my mind
I
whenever I.
know, it's
It's
so
like I
good
have
every
to do that.
time. It's just good cast deserves repeating.
Yeah. Okay. So Sparky McBlaze. That's a new one actually.
Hello, Sparky. That's new, and you have one of the characters.
Angry Bird or something. What is that?
No,
Oh
no,
no,
no.
no.
That's
It's
one. That's a Hanna
Monster.
Barbera.
The
That's
Monster.
from yeah,
Yeah. And then we got Mark Mueller,
Mr. Mueller,
Eric,
Eric,
and then we got K Munin,
Andreas, Big
Matt.
Mad.
No more hellos.
No, he's been around CJ too long.
Okay. And then oh yeah, then actually it was funny here. Uh, Eric responded, "Hello." And then there's Frozen Matt in here.
My God, he's still frozen.
He's still frozen. Can't
The poor
respond because
man.
he's frozen. And we got Thomas O'Donnell.
Thomas,
I think it's being very finicky. I'm trying to hit it and it keeps on not displaying stuff. Okay.
JX,
JX. And then we got AJ.
AG.
Or why do I say his name is actually AJ, but his name is uh Guez. I think I'm probably mispronouncing it, but I think it's AJ. I'm pretty sure because
Hello there.
he connected with us on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Then we got Buttface McBooby, and then we got JSS,
JSS,
Stevie D,
Stevie D.
and then we got Boston Chris. And I want you to read this message if you could.
Alan Alda. That's from church.
Yeah,
Ugh.
okay. And we got Chunko,
Chonko?
and we got a bunch more still. And then we got Louis V,
Louis V.
Callie,
Hi, Callie.
and I think we got a couple more. That was still Boston Chris. Okay. And then we got Retro Style Toys.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Okay. And we have Bleeker. And he's
Hi,
calling us
Bleak.
gentlemen. Who is this person? Somebody's impersonating
Someone
Bleeker.
is trapped in underneath all the snow in St. Catharines, is what it
I don't know.
is.
I don't know. Usually he calls us like nerds or something, but he's calling us gentlemen. I don't know. I
That's all
don't
right.
trust it.
Did you
I don't
say hi
trust
to
it.
Mike Dennis?
Did I? Probably not. Where is Mike Dennison? Oh yeah, right there. Okay. Cool. So I think I got everybody now. So
Okay.
hi everybody. And yeah, this should be a really great show. I'm gonna show some pretty big books. I know you have some couple,
I
good
have a
books.
few.
Yeah, so it should be fun. We're gonna do it as multiple rounds until they're all gone.
Dustin Markey also. We have Dustin Markey as
Oh,
well.
oh, hi Dustin. Okay, so yeah, so you can start her up.
I will indeed. Um, I am showing right here. This is from Slab Addict, who is a guy that I buy from on one of the many auctions. And this Elvira piece was a secret gift or something that he got, or it was a mystery box or something that he got it. And he always would have that out on his display when he was doing stuff. People say, "What is it? Wait, how much is it? How much is it?" And he goes, "Well, no, it's just a display piece or whatever." So I took a run at it and I was able to get it. And so
Oh, nice.
this is very nice. And also right over here, this is a portfolio by Frank Bruner from
Okay.
1974 that I bought from Ed Craze, the same guy that I bought these lunch buckets from, and other stuff too. And so some of the other fellows that have joined the Wacky Mayhem. The books that I put out today, I put out a Crime Does Not Pay book on my Instagram today.
Oh,
And
nice.
so all of the books that I got, now that one's a slab. I only have two slabs that are of Crime Does Not Pay and that crime ilk. And so I put a portion of them. All of these books that I have here was from a collection that I will be showing you some books from in this stack that I have to show you today. And I bought them all at the same time, and it was the same collector who had them. And so the stuff that he collected was very eclectic. Miss Furies, and various and assorted, Crown Comics, a lot of that kind of stuff. Very, very offbeat stuff. And a
Oh, hi
couple of
Bob.
them I have here. Hi, Lau. A good interview with Matt, too. Um,
Oh, I didn't see
the,
that yet. I'll have to watch it.
the first book I have is Abbott and Costello.
Oh, nice. I
This
actually
is
could have brought that one too. That's a good one.
this is a Lily Renee cover, and it's one of the more famous of the Abbott and Costello Good Girl covers. And so that's this. This book is a very, very big book. This is a very difficult book to find,
Oh, wow.
and it is one of the coolest surreal covers and one of the great propaganda covers of the
I have
war
it.
books. And the Tokyo Kid, who is right there, was created by a Disney artist who had left Disney to go and find, basically work in a war factory during World War II. And he came up, and he was a propaganda device to try to keep people from breaking tools and
Blacking.
showing up late and all that stuff. And he would basically have these posters where he's wringing his hands and says, "Take the day off. Look at this," you know. And the color palette and the color cover strike on this
It's
particular
beautiful.
copy is absolutely spectacular.
And if actually, can you just wait, go back to it. Just zoom in on the Tokyo Kid,
Okay, just a second here.
because
Okay,
it
that'll
is
look.
like he is such a creepy character.
The
Um,
slavering fangs. He's got he has a pre-war Colt 45 automatic because it's blued, not Parkerized. This is from about 1944, 43, 44, I think. And a lot of these other, and of course, the aviator, who is sort of in silhouette, somewhat. I mean, he's sort of the shadows. And here this guy is looking. So, hi, Sue. Here's this guy that's going to try to sneak up and kill him and having fun and laughing all the way is going to get hanged.
it's not number one. It's volume two, number two.
Yes, Volume 2, Number 2, Air Ace, Volume 2, Number 2.
I have that coming.
Picturing new tricks in jungle warfare. It is definitely a war book. And this is a propaganda cover that very few people realize about that. I mean, what this book really is. If
Yeah.
you find,
What
if you,
grade is it? Just
th-
quickly, sorry.
this one, oh, I would say it would have to be at least a VF, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit
I mean it
better.
looks really high grade.
Yeah, it's a very, very high grade copy of this. I
You know that
missed.
that's insanely expensive at that grade, right?
Oh yeah, it's thousands of dollars. No, it's thousands of dollars,
Thousands
which
and
is why
thousands of
it's in
dollars.
the box, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And you say books that are worthwhile being slabbed. This one absolutely is one that would be.
yeah.
And of course, in the meantime, what I do is I double. I
Double
have
board
the
them.
I have the acid free full backing board in a Gerber Mylight inside a Gerber Mylar. So that,
Wow.
and they basically, I very seldom take these out. They just sit and relax and enjoy their retirement. Um, here is, hi,
Hi,
Mike.
hi, Mike.
Here is an All American Comics number 53. And just a golden age book that just sort of fell in my lap. And it's a very interesting story where they find a mail bag that was from the 1890 or like 30 or 40 years earlier,
Hmm.
and they say, well, let's just go ahead and deliver the mail. So he goes off, and there are all manner of stories and adventures that then transpire, plus the atoms in here and all that stuff. And this
Wow.
is issue number 53.
Very nice.
Here is All Star Comics number 25, and this book is came
Oh
out at
wow.
this book came out at the time that the what was happening is they were going National Comics, or excuse me, DC Comics was going to buy all.
Oh. Uh-oh. Hmm.
Are we
Are you still
back?
there?
I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Did it you froze or I froze? I'm
No,
not
I
sure.
just got a black screen with a swirl.
So Steven's frozen.
Am I frozen now?
No, you're not. You're de-thawed.
Okay, I'm going to go quicker. Here is this one, and this one has the All American symbol logo that they created just before they were absorbed because they wanted to differentiate the fact that the characters that are in All American comics are Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Wildcat,
Oh, the
the
carrot
Atom, and
fixed it. Oh.
all these other great characters. Here is a Zip Davis cover. This is
Hi, BK.
Amazing Adventures number 5.
Oh, and Lyle's here too. Hi, Lyle.
Hi, Big Lyle.
Oh, that's a nice one. I have that full run now, actually.
Very good. This one is the one that Alan. This is the one that Alan says the guy looks like Charlton Heston, and I agree with him. This is issue number 6
Oh
of the same
yes.
title.
Yeah.
You damn dirty ape.
It does. It looks like that scene too.
Oh, it looks like, and that's although the whatever her name is Eve or whatever it is, she is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
brunette in the show. but here she is like this, and get
He's
your
kind of
hands off,
protecting her. Yeah.
get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape. This is one of
Oh,
these
nice.
Avon books. There are three of them that always seem to you want to
Oh,
have
you
in your
froze
collection.
again.
I did.
Yeah, or for me it froze. Sorry.
I'm
I'm not
sorry
sure if it's
too.
my end or your end.
Well, I have no problems down here. I have full bars. I think it's straining it through StreamYard going up through Canada because of all the snow and stuff you have.
I don't
We
know how
all
it
we have is
works.
wet. All we have is wet pavement here.
Oh, okay. Knives says it was
Not for him. Okay,
not for him.
but this book, Canadian Internet, I think that's what it is.
Hmm.
An Earthman and Venus, flying saucers, and
Awesome book.
the blue robot cover are the three faucet covers that you really want to get. These are the three, these one shots that
So
were
wait,
very.
it's Earthman on Venus. Which one?
An
And it's
Earthman and
like,
Venus, it's a one shot.
yeah, what were the three that you said recommended?
Flying saucers,
Flying
the
saucers, yeah.
black cover with the alien, and then the blue one that has the robot, and it's from there's Crom on the cover and what have you. The blue robot, um, whatever it is. Those are the three Avons that
Oh,
are
like out of space or out of something?
something out of the beyond or something,
Out of space or something like that, maybe?
out of time. Here is here is Atomic War
Oh, very nice.
#1.
I told you I just won that recently, right?
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm
So
quite
there's
excited.
Atomic War #1. These would be these are all very difficult books to. And here's
Get.
another Atomic War, since one Atomic War was not enough.
Hmm. Very nice.
These are Ace periodicals, Ace Comics, Ace periodicals.
Very nice. You got the
This
first one from Big B, right?
Yes, I got the first one from Bigby McFly, the comic guy.
Yeah, that's a great one.
This book is I'm stunned I even have it. Is the Black Tarantula
Oh, yes.
of I mean unobtainium. This book is made out of
There's
unobtainium.
I think there's only like a few, like I think it's like less than 10 on the census or
Less than
something.
10.
It's like,
And it wasn't terribly expensive. Again, and the thing about this is it may not be that the book is worth thousands of dollars,
well, that's hundreds of dollars.
but hundreds, but to try to find this book again, to try to put it back into your collection,
And it's one of
you're
the
lucky
cooler
to get
covers.
one shot.
I really love that cover. When I
Well, I do
saw it and
too.
heard the story of it, like it was me that turned you onto that book, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But
I
when I
credit
heard that, it
credit
was
where
like,
credit is due.
yeah.
This book is also, I've had two of these, but this is the second one. I traded one away for a very high end or very desirable Fight Comics, the decapitation cover, for a friend of mine, Matt Nelson, who
Hmm.
runs the CGC. But this is the last Captain Arrow. This is an LB Cole cover,
Oh, nice. I love
and
that book.
this has its problems at the staples, but this is an unbelievably hard book, and the color strike on this is absolute. If you can see it, it's just
Hmm.
absolutely lush. And you got these there's signed by LB Cole right there, and you got these bad cats coming out, and they always have Saturn around somewhere in a,
Yeah, they love
the
Saturn. It's like
and
the
the
planet.
color schemes in the color palette that LB Cole uses. I'll show a few more, and then I'll turn it over to you, Alan.
Okay.
Huh. This thing.
Is it stuck?
No. I don't like to have the edges turned
Yeah,
up.
yeah, me too. I'm annoyed by that.
I have a
Oh, that's a
slab
good
of this
one.
book, but then I was able to buy this on very favorably, and I snapped it because it's just an
It
unbelievably cool cover.
That is a book that should be expensive.
It will be.
It's not that expensive, but it's
It
well,
will be.
yeah, it
Yeah,
should be like an extra zero to the price tag. It is such a great book.
easily.
Yeah,
And I just don't think a lot of people know about it. And when they see it, they say, "Oh my God, what is?
that's one of
Oh,
the most horrific ones from the Golden Age. It's just crazy.
the eye popper cover, an eye
Yeah,
opener." It says, "See, eye
an eye
opener."
opener. Yeah, awesome cover.
Looks like it's sort of an eye closer.
You actually helped me get my copy of that.
I did. I don't know what was wrong with me. There must be something wrong with me. I can tell you that. These two are the last two I will show in this round for me. Here is
Hmm.
Captain Science.
Okay, nice.
And this one is, I really like this one. I saw this and I finally had a chance to buy it. Is this great Captain Science with the absolutely bizarre green monster with the forceps and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
he's holding this giant snake and the gal in the and Alan, here's the gal, the blonde in the red dress with the slit,
Yep.
right? And
Yes.
she's got on flip flops, and this other guy's got they've got bubble helmets and all this
I
other
know.
jazz. And it's just, and look at, there's the rattle for the snake right down there, the shark
Hmm.
pirates of Pisces. But what,
Yeah.
look at this, but the composition, how much work this would have
Oh,
taken for
there's so
them to.
much, so much going on there. It's one of those covers you really have to look at for a little while.
I
There's
mean,
so much
it's,
going on there.
you can really be sucked into this one. This is, did they even have the number? They never put the numbers on. Oh, number five.
Number
This is
five, yeah.
Captain Science number five, and the last Captain Science I showed you was Captain Science. And this is a Walter Johnson cover,
Yeah.
who did a lot of good stuff. Walter Johnson did, and of course they don't put a number on it. So okay, that's my hunk for the my first
Okay,
hunk.
I'm going to give you the power here to decide what I'm going to show first. I got pre-code horror. I have good girl. I have cartoon, and I have superhero.
Let's start with cartoon, which I think is the
Okay.
softest of them to
Okay.
show.
Start out with something soft, but these are some pretty nice books,
Oh
I think.
yeah,
Mine are really low grade though. These are big books, but even in low grade, they're big books. Like, they're expensive even in low grade. We're gonna start out with Our Gang. This one has, you can see it's rough on the bottom, but this is the very first appearance of Tom and Jerry. And you got, I always get their names mixed up. Is Jerry the mouse and Tom is the cat, right?
Tom Cat, like Tom
Yeah,
Cat,
Tom Cat. That's what
and
I
then
figured.
Jerry the Mouse, and they were created by the team of Hanna Barbera.
Yeah.
And Tom and Jerry were the one of the staple cartoons of MGM. And then
Now I believe. Yeah.
they left, and they did Tom and Jerry, they did Droopy, they did Screwy Squirrel, any number of different characters,
Jeez,
and then they
keep
went
on
to a
giving me
more
thumbs
limited
up.
animation, and that's what your partner Mark Oldroyd was talking about. Rough and Ready was the first,
Hmm.
and
So
then
this
that was
one, I
followed
believe
by
it's also the first appearance of Our Gang as well. These
mhm.
characters right here.
The blonde kid has a voice like this. His name is Froggy.
And did they have live action movies or
Yes, it
did it?
was, Our Gang was live action.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. This next one is got two key first appearances. It's the first appearance of Little Eight Ball, and it's the first appearance of Woody the Woodpecker. I like both characters. So yeah, this is kind of a nice one. This is the Funnies number 64. Uh,
Is Cue Ball a Walter Lance character? Because Woody
yes, yes,
Woodpecker
he is.
is.
Yeah, he is. And Cue Ball actually had, a fair number of movies and things devoted to him. He
Is
was he
this
was a
issue number one?
This is no, this is New Funnies. No, The Funnies. Sorry, The Funnies number 64.
Now, you also have
Andy
Oswald the Rabbit.
Pandy, yeah,
No, you have
and
Oswald the
Oswald.
Rabbit. That was a Walt Disney creation that was taken from him. And
Yes,
Walter Lance took that away from him. And then Andy Panda. I don't know what the first Oswald the Rabbit was or the first Andy Panda.
yeah. I'm not sure if this is the first Andy Panda as well. I'm not sure. I think it's in that range.
Fair
But
enough.
um,
Never
okay, and
see
then
that book. You never see that book.
okay. So the next one that I'm going to show is not Golden Age, but barely not Golden Age. This is from 1958. I love showing this book. This is my Spiro, 1074, I believe, or is it 1070? I always forget the number. I think it's 1074. Wait, 1071. I was going through all my numbers. The first appearance of the Smurfs. I'm a
And
big
they were
Smurf.
appearing like hiding behind bushes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they were
they
sort
were.
of an add-on that they just had fun with, and then they were
You would hear
formalized.
noises like before this issue. Like I actually have the earlier kind of like I guess they'd be considered cameos where you never see them, but they just make sounds like they like little like weird noises and stuff in the bushes and stuff as you were saying. And it's this where they actually make their first full appearance, but they're not on the cover. So I had to get the first cover appearance, and you got them at the top here with Papa Smurf and all the other Smurfs.
Do you read, is that French or is that Belgian?
This is French. Belgian is French.
And what is that? What does the caption say? Up
Well, it
top
says a lot
right.
of stuff. Okay,
Up top
allons,
right.
like allons au Strumpf. Nous allons strumpfir
No,
une.
translate, my friend. Translate. That's what I'm trying to understand
Okay,
here.
come on, Smurfs. Let's like Smurf, a new Smurf, and six Smurfs. And okay, so okay, that's I
Let's
don't
Smurf
know.
Smurfette, right?
Yeah, that's before Smurfette.
Oh, long before.
I have the first Smurfette as well, and the first.
That was a Gargamel plant to try to destroy the Smurfs, and it
Yeah,
didn't work.
yeah. The next big book that I have is this one, Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies #1. And actually, if do you know the Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect?
Yeah. So, okay, I'm just going to quickly go into conspiracy theory and then it'll make sense. Okay, so the Mandela effect is that people believed that Nelson Mandela died in prison. Okay? And then later on they were like shocked that they found out that he, had become president of South Africa and all this kind of stuff. So the point is, there was this kind of phenomena where people remember things one way, but then the actual reality is another way. Okay, and that's called the Mandela effect after the fact that people thought Nelson Mandela was dead. Okay, now here's the Mandela effect that relates to this comic. Okay, how do you spell Looney Tunes? The tunes in Looney Tunes.
Tunes. But
Yes.
it wasn't, but that's incorrect because, I mean, that is correct because it was Merry Melodies and Looney
Yes.
Tunes. And all of those Tin Pan Alley songs were purchased by Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And they took all of those Tin Pan Alley songs, and it was
Yeah.
dirt cheap to buy them. And they took all that music and then they gave it to us in cartoons. And that's why songs from the 20s and 30s are still in the vernacular, if you will, in music.
Yeah. So you're right. It is spelled with Tunes. But a lot of people, when they spell it, they write Toons.
S, as in
Because as in
cartoons.
cartoons. So this is like one of those ones where people, this is like one of those Nelson Mandela
Did
or
Matt Atkinson
Mandela
put you
effects.
up to ask me that quiz question?
That's a very Matt question, isn't it? And who? No, that's just a good. Okay, and this one has the first appearance of a whole bunch of the characters like Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig and Daffy Duck. Pretty much
Is
most
that
of
the
the major
first
characters.
Daffy Duck, or is that big one that I have that has the linen on it, the Duck Hunt cover? I think
The
that predates that
yeah.
thing.
So this is the first comic book appearance. How about
Right.
that?
Okay. It is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So then we get into another big one.
Great. I love Donald Duck's my favorite.
Yeah, so this is Walt Disney Comics and Stories #1. And this is the first appearance of which character?
Daisy Duck.
No. Close. Very close.
I give up. Who?
Donna Duck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
You're right. You're
that was
absolutely right. Her name to begin with was Donna
what
Duck.
is Donna Duck? I don't know why. They changed it later. They realized that Daisy sounds better, I guess. But it was Donna Duck. I knew I was that was a trick question. I was just messing with you.
That's
Um,
okay. I knew it was Donna Duck, but
yes.
but I
I
didn't.
knew you knew. I knew you knew.
I thought I just wanted to use the vernacular of Daisy Duck because that's what.
It
How many
really is
people know?
Daisy Duck.
how many people know that her first name was Donna Duck, or
Yeah.
what Wile E. Coyote's first name was? You know,
Yeah, exactly. Casey, is it Casey?
something like that.
Yeah. Okay, and then we got this one is in the same grade as yours, probably.
Wow.
Rex the Wonder Dog number 4.
You
First
know,
appearance.
you're going to see it again.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, I've
well, we
got
could
it
do
in here.
twinsies on it if you want.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'll be. Let me pull it up, and then I'll.
okay, let's do twinsies. This we're both going to show, and we can compete. Who has the crappier? Who has the
Well,
crappier
my book
copy?
doesn't present as perhaps. I mean, it doesn't
Mine
present all
presents
that.
really bad. So just so you know.
Mine actually presents quite well.
Oh, yours is actually quite pretty.
Yeah, it is not an unattractive book.
Mine
It's
has like
just
this big tape thing, and it's
all.
just like
But
it's pretty
mine
rough.
is a complete shambles. And ladies and gentlemen, Sanderson Restoration Services is the gold standard of pressing and cleaning and fixing and restoration and leaf casting
Hmm.
and all that jazz. And he gave up on that on this book. He gave up. He says, "I
Hmm.
give up." He sent it back.
Yeah, but
So
this
I have the dubious distinction and the high
of
honor
defeating him.
of defeating. Anyway, there's Rex.
Okay. If anyone watched my video on Sunday, you'll notice like that was on the list, and this next book was also on the list. Strangely enough, this
Yes,
is Walt Disney Comics and Stories, Volume One, Number 3.
I watched the
It,
show, so I know. Do you want to say or shall I?
you can say it. You can say it.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yes. Oh, thank you, K. Munin. He says mine are more vibrant. My colors are better. Okay, I doubt it. Mine's pretty rough. But yeah, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So that's kind of cool. And we got. Do you know this is pretty obvious whose first appearance it is?
I would say that Charlie Chan starts in that issue.
Yeah, you know it's funny. This is a this octopus thing, right? But they
Yes.
gave it a Charlie Chan, like some
Did someone
kid,
take a marker and put that on
someone
there?
some marker to the octopus's head.
They also blacked in the F.
The
Do you
F,
know
yeah.
something? That book is so unbelievably hard to find. I mean,
It is incredibly rare.
I've never seen another copy other than your copy on that.
Yeah, this is the only copy I've ever seen offered. So I picked it up. I got it for a great deal probably because it has so much marker on it. But just a really rare book.
What
Quite
number is
cool.
that?
That is Feature Comics number 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah, very hard to find. Another one that I'm not sure if this is Porky Pig's first comic or first, like feature
Now, I have seen that listed as the
as his
first
first
Porky
appearance.
first appearance, and I think that it's the first appearance of Petunia Pig, his who's
Yeah,
with him there.
yeah. I'm not sure if this came out before.
Looney
What's it
Tunes and
called?
Merry
Looney Tunes.
Melodies number
Yeah,
1.
yeah. I'm not sure. This is from. I'm not sure when. This is so Four Color Comics actually had two series. This is from the first series, which was I think 1938 to 1939 or 1940, and this
They're
is
slightly larger than the
yeah,
what
yeah. You can see that it's quite big. And Matt was being nice here. What did Matt say? One sec here. Oh,
Matt who?
Matt, one sec here. It's not letting me put up his comic. Okay, there we go. I gave the octopus a Ringo haircut in the garden. Oh man, you spent $5 to say a bad joke. It's like, wow. Okay.
You should be glad he sent you an AOK.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for the okay. You should- okay, but yeah. Okay. So, oh my goodness. And Lyle's bad joke is they're making bacon.
Oh boy, that's. And then the
Jeez.
other one was, remember the thing Fly United, the one with the two ducks in the air. That was the term for United Airlines, Fly United. Oh, it was brilliant, brilliant, funny.
Yeah. So where do you find these books? Other than Disney books, I didn't think these books were usual pickup site. Yeah, these ones. So
Wherever you find them.
I was actually very fortunate. Jerry, I have to thank Jerry the Jitterbug because he contacted me out of the blue and said, "Oh, I found this collection." And he basically hooked me up with a guy that had it was a law firm that was the person that owned the law firm was no longer, and they had like it was, I guess it was around from the 30s or 40s, and they basically had like a stack of early comics that they would have in the waiting room. So these are all books from law firm's waiting room that they just sold off at the end, and they were just like
Was was
happened to
the
be really
was
major
the law
books.
firm in Chicago, Illinois?
I think so, yeah. I think that sounds right. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It
I
it
mean,
went.
that Chicago would be old. I mean, a large enough population center to have something like that. Out here in the West, you probably wouldn't have something like that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one last cartoony book is
The first Mighty Mouse.
my first Mighty Mouse. Yeah. So this is Terry Toons number 38. And it's just a cool book. And it's actually fairly high grade. It's like a VG plus, they say.
Yeah, it's an expensive book too, and there aren't all that many of them either.
I've seen it a couple of times since
I have seen it too, and every time I see it, it's
crazy
been well
price.
loved. Well, no, it's been very well loved, and it's priced very high.
Yeah, this one presents nicely at least.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, the thing about the early Mighty Mouse is he has an orange cape.
Yeah, he
And
does.
later
Yeah.
on, when I had that whole Mighty Mouse set that I showed, you know, you saw when they finally standardized his costume that it would be
Hmm.
all red cape, red trunks, red shoes, and then sometimes he'd have orange shoes and orange trunks, and they kind of went around and around. And I don't know if that was because the colorists didn't know what the hell they were doing. Alex
I
Schomburg
think
would
they
say
just
they
colored it
probably
whatever
didn't.
looks good. Like, yeah. Yeah, they it's sort of like Supergirl. Like they could never figure out what color is what. They just color
Well,
whatever.
the red skirt was like two. There was an ad for it, and it was for, and also on Superman 123 that wasn't
Hmm.
even her, and then
Yeah.
it was blue from then on. So you have only two of the red, and then later on they
Well,
went to
later
red.
on they went back to the red and they kind
Yeah,
of went all over the place.
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Actually, I okay. I
You
have
want I
four
should
more.
go
I have more stacks. I have four
now? Do
more
you have
stacks.
now? Let me ask you this: Do you have we have time here to really show some stuff tonight? I mean, do we have to hurry up, or can we? I don't. I'm not saying have a lemon tree with every book, but I've got enough books. I've got a bunch of books to show, and so do you.
I got a ton more to show.
Let's
Okay.
roll.
So I'll show one more stack.
Okay.
And then I will then I'll switch back to you, and then
All
we'll
right.
go like a couple more rounds, a few more rounds.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, so we got some Green Llama. This is Green
I
Llama number
have that
one.
book.
I know you have this book. I was the one that I think encouraged you to get this book.
No. I always loved Green
You
Llama,
never heard
but
of
I
the
never
Green
had.
Llama before me, so yeah.
And then the I got the swastika on the back cover. I think before you did, or if you do you have the swastika on his
No,
back cover
I
yet?
think I had it first. I had it
Okay.
before you did.
And yours is a slab.
Yes, mine's a
Yeah.
slab. Then we
Great
got the
book.
Saint.
I've had two copies of that in my life. I had my first collection. I mean,
You
early
sold
on,
it?
I
You
had it.
sold one of these?
I sold a copy of that, but it's not a patch on the one that I got from.
Yeah, this one's a 4.0. Well, that's what they say it is. So I
Yeah.
think it's probably a reasonable grade.
Yes,
Um,
for that book, it's a hard book. Issue two is a great cover too.
I have the complete run now of the Saint, so quite happy about that. And this is another really hard book to get. This is Miss America number 2, and this is the first appearance of Patsy Walker. Actually, I really like this cover. There's not many photo covers that I can say, oh, I really, really like the photo cover, but I actually really like this. I just like this whole retro superhero costume. And the story behind it is like, the girl I think was like 14 or 15 when she took this photo. I mean, people looked much older in the past, I think. Like, she looks much older than 14 or 15 to me, but
What a great costume she had. Who
yeah,
made the
it's a really great
Did she
costume.
make the costume?
No, no. But it was
Who
just
made
some
the
girl.
costume?
That's a Matt question. I have no idea who made the costume. Okay.
So Miss America was a timely character, correct?
Yes. And then later on, she became a librarian. She wasn't even a model. She just was some kid that they they found and said, "Hey, put this on." So yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, it's really
It
cool.
fits her. The costume fits her
Yeah,
perfectly.
it's really great. I actually really like that cover. And this one I've shown a few times recently because it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
This is Air Fighters. I forgot what number it is. Number three, I think, or something like that. I wish it would say. It doesn't ever say on the
it
cover.
does.
Yeah. So, but it's the first appearance of the Heap.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He was a World War One pilot who died. Actually, was
Crashed
shot
in. Well, he
down.
didn't die. He didn't
No, no,
die.
he was no, he didn't die. He was shot down and refused to die because he had a young, lovely wife and a young child waiting
Yeah.
for him. And he says, "I will not die." And Mother
Hmm.
Nature took pity on him and
And
basically
he melded with the
enveloped him
swamp.
into the swamp,
Mm,
and then made him an animated swamp creature that was
exactly.
timeless and basically invulnerable. And
And he
he had
later
his mind,
became the inspiration for Swamp Thing and
and then his
everything.
wife and child died, and that's what made him go crazy. And then that's why he was more of an elemental crash and burn, tear everything down, destroy stuff, as he's trying to also do good.
Oh, okay. Wait, Matt actually found the answer. Fashion article includes photographs of the actress Joyce Reynolds. Does not give the credit to the photographer or the dressmaker. So we will never know. Oh, hi, Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Okay, so one more Airboy.
Oh boy, I love
This
that
is
book.
I love this cover. It's just a cool cover.
Oh, it's
Expensive book
fantastic. It's
because
fantastic.
it's such a crazy one. You know, uh it's a cinch. Once I get into the air, I'll be able to rip off this blindfold and then fly back and rescue Bonnie.
Yeah, that's a pretty cover. That's the last name of the guy that is the cover artist. And he does
Mm-hmm.
the interiors, and the interior work that he does on that book is really good.
Mm.
He's a
Okay.
very good artist.
Okay.
He
Cool.
drew. He also drew the Valkyrie, which is
Oh,
also a
really?
great book too. Yeah,
Oh, very nice. Okay, and then two more big ones. Well, this one I've shown a million times, but I'll show it again.
can't go wrong with that one.
Yeah. Startling 49 and Alex Schomburg cover inspiration for Bender. And I confirmed that with Bill Morrison, so that's cool. Yeah, just a great book. And my last one for this round. I still have a lot more to show. That's why I had to show extra. Um, is Young Romance #1, and this is
Cool.
actually quite a hard book to find. Though since I found it, I've seen like 3 or 4 copies come up, but it is a very hard book to find.
That looks
Uh,
Simon and Kirby to me.
it is Simon and Kirby. Good guess. Do you know what this book is?
It's the issue #1 of Young Romance. It's the first romance comic book ever.
That's right. So kind of I like these kind of milestone books or books that kind of represent some historical significance. So um,
And it's interesting, Alan, it's interesting that the very first romance comic book has the oldest trope in the world of the
the girl
gal
with
at
the
the
red
door
dress,
looking in to see the boyfriend getting schlemoozed with the floozy.
artist. So it's always like the artist. This is another trope. Like the artist is drawing the girl, and you know, you know, like having some kind of relationship with the girl, and you got the girlfriend walk in and catching it all. But yeah, so that's the
I have to
first.
say that the guys in those romance comics had the worst timing of anybody, and amazingly, they captured so many covers with them doing it.
Mhm.
Okay, here I go.
All right, there you go.
Here is a one-shot Colossal Features Fox Features Syndicate Jack Kamen cover.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's
Here is Comic
I think that was a
Cavalcade.
Wally Wood, by the way.
Oh, what was Hollywood? Okay. Comic Cavalcade. And this is issue #12. It still says All American up there at the 15 cent. It wraps around it. This is controversial because in the day it was no big deal because you could wear Halloween masks and not have a problem. But in the woke culture that is now gone, thank God it's gone. that you can wear a mask that is, that they have this is it's very insensitive and all this stuff. Screw them. Okay, there's that. Here is another socially probably politically
Politically
incorrect,
incorrect. Yeah.
but this is Contact Comics.
Oh,
And
LB
this is an
Cole.
LB Cole cover, and that's
Hmm.
Tommy Tomahawk. Tommy
Okay.
Tommyhawk, okay, is the pilot right there. And all of the guys in his squadron all wear their feather bonnets as they climb into their P-40 Warhawk aircraft.
Hmm. Now, did that actually happen? That sounds like something people would do as a cool thing to do?
In the war?
Yeah, that
No.
almost sounds like a cool thing to do.
Well, this. No, they never did that.
Just sounds like a
I
really
mean,
cool thing
even
to
if there
do.
is a movie that they showed it, the military did not. The military is you wear the uniform. I mean, if
I
you're war,
know,
I mean,
but
it's. Can you feature this that they have to put on their war bonnets to get into their aircraft?
it
If
would
you
be
knew
almost
how tight it
impossible.
was inside the cockpits of
Oh
these
yeah,
things,
yeah,
they
yeah,
couldn't wear all this stuff.
yeah.
It's
But
a
it's
it's
just
a funny
cool.
book, but this
Yeah,
is L.B. Cole, and again, the palette that he uses is wonderful. It's a
yeah.
really this is a I this was an inexpensive book.
It isn't that expensive.
Frankly,
I have the run of Contact Comics actually, except for the one that you have the sci-fi cup. You have that
oh,
right? Contact 12,
Contact 12. Is that the
the sci-fi one.
No, I don't have that.
Oh, okay, okay. I
I
thought you
don't
had
have
it.
that. Here is Cowgirl Romances with a gal with a fabulous fanny
Yep, that's a great one.
and the Rainbow Herd.
Okay,
Okay?
so it's interesting. You're saving the fanny. That's going to go in the safe.
Well, now I could say something, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Here is a cowgirl. This reminds me of Mike Mercury and Fireball XL5, the guy's face. It looks like he's one of those super marionettes to me. But this is
Mhm.
another trope where you got the guys putting the whang on the noirette, and his blonde babe
Well,
is
it's usually the other way around. It's usually the blonde that's getting the action.
usually the blonde is getting in the noirettes out, but
Hmm.
this noirette has a trick pelvis. Okay, there's that one,
And that's Maurice Whitman, just so you know.
and that is Maurice Whitman. And here
Yes,
is another Maurice Whitman.
that's really nice too.
Great detail. He does this. Gives you lots, and his line work is just lovely. And the face on the gal and her eyes, and the way he draws that he always draws the women full hipped is the way
Hmm.
Maurice Whitman draws women. It ain't no J. Scott Campbell. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
these are full figured women. Yes. Yeah, like
Here is a cow puncher
oh, I like that
number
one.
two.
That's Cayman or is it
That's
Omar?
Cayman.
Yeah,
That's
Cayman.
Cayman. This one is this is issue three. This is Al Ulmer.
Yeah,
Albert Ulmer or Alan Ulmer is this
yeah.
one, and she's having a difficult time.
Hmm.
This book is Cowpuncher number four. I believe this is an Ulmer cover again,
Hmm.
and this book is this was like a
It says the
25 or
cow punch
35.
back.
The cow's very. I'll tell you what. The cows do punch back, they kick back, and they always show them sort of docile and stuff like that, and they are docile, but you can't turn your, it's like the ocean, you can't turn your back on them,
Hmm.
because if you're not paying attention, then you end up busted up real bad.
Yeah.
But this was not an expensive book, but this particular copy is breathtaking. I'm not a big, and she's not the sexiest gal in the world, but she's real cute in primary colors.
Yeah. No, I like that one. I
Here
have
is
all the cow punchers too, actually. Just so you know. Just so you know. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
just saying.
Just
Just
saying.
saying. Here is issue five, and I think this is yet, and I'm not entirely sure. That it looks somewhat Caymanish,
Oh,
but I
I
think it
really
might
like
be
that. I didn't
Omer.
realize you had that one, actually.
Well,
Very nice.
It was Paul's book first, but someone who knew Paul sold it.
That's a great one.
Thank you.
I like the flame covers.
So do I. I love this cover. It's a Walter Johnson
Oh
cover.
wow. My first cousin was killed by a cow kick. before we got married in Canada. I think that's a joke. First cousin killed and got married in Canada. So that was, I think that was, we were talking about first cousins getting married last time,
Oh, yes, that's right. Matt
right?
Atkinson, who knows, he knows what's legal and what isn't legal almost, I mean, instantaneously he knew. This
Hmm.
makes me wonder about Mr. Atkinson. Okay, anyway, but there's this, and this has the infamous bonnets stamp up there. But thank God, and this far back, it isn't onerous. They were running out of ink for that damn stamp that gigantic flag stamp that they were doing.
Hmm.
Are you
That's a
guys?
good
I
one.
hope that everybody in the chat is enjoying. These are,
Some really rare
both
books, some
both
cool
Alan
books.
and I. This is years and years and years and years of putting these books together.
Hmm.
Where you get them, you finally get them, and then you hold them. Because if you get rid of them, you're dead. You can't. They're almost impossible to replace. They're not. It's difficult. Here is Dagar number one.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite ones of
And the
that run.
artist on this is his name is Demond. I'm not familiar with him, but he was the guy that did, and it's very Fox Feature Syndicate
No,
looking
very much. Yeah.
studio. Iger House says, "Who do we have?" Is well, Kamen and Baker are both busy. Who do we have? We got this Damon guy. Let's see what he can do. Oh my God, he's doing great
Yeah, he's
job
great. Yeah.
because the only thing holding her top up is her nipples.
Barely, yeah. And Niger doing a
God
good
love
job.
her.
Yeah. Actually, I finished that run too. That was another one I finished. Just saying. Oh,
Here's
that's another one.
here's
That's,
another Dagar.
I should have brought that one. Where is that? I used to have that out all the time, so I could easily grab
You
it.
had it out.
Out. It was out and about.
Here is Dark Mysteries.
That's another series I really like. You have my favorite book from that series, actually.
Oh, the funeral pyre.
Yeah.
The three witches being burned
Yeah.
alive
Yeah. Yeah.
by the green zombie guy that's
Yeah.
crazed.
That's a great one.
Oh man, that is just brutal. But
Mm.
look at that. They have this tower of the devil's faces alive, all kind of writhing with this giant serpent thing holding them together with this guy. He's got the gold's, I mean, really,
I think they're late 40s, early
late
50s.
40, yeah, 48, 49, 47 to 40, I think 48. I think
Yeah.
they're not 47s. I think they're 48s.
Oh, thank you, Adrift. I conserved that LB Cole contact on my. Huh? So he does conservation. And I guess on his channel he
Oh,
did a
that
conservation.
contact comic. I
Yeah.
thought it was you had LB Cole's contact number.
No, no,
I
no.
I
So
don't
I
think
guess
he's an
he did a restoration or conservation on it.
understood. Well
Right.
done. Well
Very
done.
cool. So check out his channel and everyone to see
Absolutely.
that conservation. I always respect people that can do conservation because I cannot.
I agree
I'm
with
just too
you.
nervous. I'm just too nervous to do
I don't want to say, well, now I'm going to immerse it in this liquid bath. Don't do it.
it.
Here is Diary of Horror, number one. This is a one shot.
Oh, nice. Mine's graded, so I couldn't show it. By the way, I have that.
Here is a Diary Secrets. I could have put any number of teenage romances, teenage confessions, any number of the Baker covers. I don't know
Yes.
why I have this one in there just for the hell of it, I guess. But
No, it's a good one though. I
um,
like his
but
stuff.
it's there we go. This is a great book. Down with Crime.
Oh yes.
This is the cellar version. That is, she's in the cellar. No jail can hold me in this issue. And they're trying to get information out of her. And this guy's got a pen. Oh, I think she's got to sign the ransom note or something, I think is what's
Oh wow.
happening here. And she is in trouble plenty, but very, very lovely. Her shoes are beautiful. She's got her dresses and she's only had the sleeve moved over to the side for them to play with her breasts. And then they left it there. They didn't tear her dress, which I thought they were very nice
That's
about
very
that.
respectful, at least.
They're very, oh yes, respectful is the
I
first
think I
word.
have almost the full run of that series now, actually. That's
Here
another one.
is,
I just picked up number one yesterday. That's why I was saying that.
oh, okay. I wouldn't be surprised if you have it.
Yeah,
Isn't Elvira nice? Isn't that a cool piece?
it is very cool.
I love
Actually,
that.
at the end, very end of this video, can you zoom in on it? Like bring it to the
No,
screen?
I will bring it closer at the end
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Here's the Down with Crime that looks
That's the
like the
big one.
Sandman, the
Yeah.
Sandman coming in. This is issue 7. It is the screwiest color scheme of pink and light blue, and it
Yeah,
has
it's
sort of the
really cool.
purple cheetah drapes, and
I
she's
forgot who
wearing
did the
lingerie.
cover of that one.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
It's Down with Crime number 7, Mr. Atkinson.
I
If you
forgot.
are
Yeah,
there,
I forgot
Mr.
the artist.
Atkinson, come in, Mr. Atkinson.
Yeah, it looks like Sandman. I like that she's going for the revolver in the drawer. It's got so many cool elements to it.
It's very cool. This one is just a wild cover, and
Oh, so Matt is asking, yes. Find out Down with Crime number 7. Who did the cover?
who did it? Who did it?
Down with Crime 7. Yeah. Okay.
Here,
Thank you, Matt.
isn't this a wild cover?
That is a wild cover.
The sort of
Fantastic Worlds.
the Pteranodon men. This is a standard comic, Fantastic Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Here is Jungle Stories magazine, Jungle Thrills. This is a Fox Feature Syndicate. This is another Cayman cover, and very, very different from Feature
Nice.
Stories magazine is the heading, Jungle Thrills, but it's
Bernard
Bernard
Bailey?
Bailey.
Do you really? I don't. Doesn't look like his style at all.
You know, it's surprising the different styles that they have. There's some guys that you just can't believe that they were. For example, that Captain America cover with the big skull is done by Martin Nodell, who drew
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the kind of the Martin Nodell drew Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern, and has a big gut and a big butt on him in All American
Mm-hmm.
16.
Weird. So yeah, I have that in my Jungle box.
Must be uncomfortable. Let it out. Here is
That's another one I really like.
an obligatory Bill Ward cover. I had about 4 or 5 other ones
I was so
that I
jealous
had.
when you got that one and then I had to go out and find it. Such great
The
book.
Bill Ward covers. Bill Ward's art is just her hair. This is the one of the tells with him. The lines of the females, and he always has very, very fancy dresses. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it's like silky satin, and it looks
And
like
like
silky
or
satin.
Gossamer or something. But
Yeah.
that one, when I first saw it, when I like the just my first impression when I first saw this book was I thought he was a ghost because like you know how you can see through her like
Well, because of the see-through shawl that she has,
yeah. So
you
I thought
thought
he
that
was
he
ghost-like.
was some kind of a ghost feller.
Yeah, but he well obviously he isn't.
Look
But
at the lovely trimming that he did. He
a little
put a
flower and
beer
stuff.
stein with some flowers in it. He dressed the stage so lovely. Remember then he has that bonsai tree on that one too.
Yeah, I mean little details like that are awesome.
I love that stuff. Here is Flash Comics number 65. This is a Joe Kubert cover, and this is the
Oh,
second
nice.
appearance of Simple Simon.
I will be showing some Flash comics as well, by the way.
And this is again an All American Comics
That's really
logoed
cool.
book prior to them basically and they're down here on that little sign on the building. It says Kubert, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. So that's a
Thank
Joe
you.
Kubert cover?
Joe Kubert cover, and I think it's Joe Kubert art inside too. Here's the second one of the triumvirate that I was talking about, an Earthman on
Yes.
Venus. This is the second printing of this. However, this one is different because it doesn't have searchlights all over the place down below. They cleaned that out because they wanted to focus more on the alien in the ship rather than all this extra searchlights basically cluttering the cover. This particular copy is remarkable. And then on the inside, there are 2 additional pages of story for the story that's here that are missing in the first issue. So the first one has a different cover and is missing 2 pages. This one has a cleaner conceptual cover and 2 additional pages of the story.
I feel like you're trying to justify something, but okay.
No, I'm not trying. I'm just explaining.
Okay. What company produced the Elvira?
It's not. It's an image that's on a sponge core board.
Oh, okay.
It's a display piece. It is an actual display piece. I don't
Okay,
know
we'll
what
have
the
to. The guy's got to wait till the end, and then he's going to show it.
Here is the first appearance of Zorro
Oh my goodness, this is
that
the.
I
You're
got this
taunting me now.
from Bleecker Street Comics.
Hmm.
Mr. Bleeker's in the audience. We did a trade, and I thought that it was a very favorable one. And the guy in the yellow shirt with the whip is Zorro. And inside he is called Zorro. He is Zorro. He goes and Kid Eternity as a character was around for a hell of a long time, and he died and he wasn't supposed to die, so he can come back. And then he has this bookkeeper guy that keeps track of whoever's supposed to be alive or dead or whatever it is, and he can pull people from heaven to come down and help him take on thugs. So he called in Zorro to help him fight some guys, and that's
Hmm.
the story about Kid Eternity. And there's a whole lot more to it. So there's that. And then here is the Zorro that is the one that has the more traditional Zorro look,
Hmm.
and thought of as the first appearance of Zorro, when in fact this is the second appearance of Zorro in comic books. And this
Our
is much more the
audience.
Don Diego and all the cast of characters, the alcalde and his parents and Friar and the Sergeant Garcia and all those, and they have really beautiful artwork on the inside. It's a really, and this is a very, very nice copy, very nice edges. Little trouble at the staples, but of course, where everybody, I have trouble with my staples too. It's hard to keep me together. So anyway, there's that.
So
Here is
our audience, by the way, is the whole time they're just going on about Elvira, and they're like, this is
well.
such
Let me cut to the chase here,
yeah, yeah.
because
Bring it
that's
over,
not
bring it
fair.
over. They're so keen.
That's not fair. You see, it's on this.
Okay. So
Okay,
where
it's
did you
just
get
on.
this? Is
It's.
this one of your
I
buys
just got this
from?
today.
Oh, okay, nice.
I got this today. I got it with some other books that are not Golden Age books that I got from Slabbed Addict, who's a great guy. His name's David. Wonderful
Okay,
guy in the
very
auctions.
cool.
He has signed books till hell won't have them. I got my signed Elvira from him. I
Hmm.
got my signed Xena from him. They're it's and those things are hard, and he's got a Nicolas Cage, signed Nicolas Cage, who he only signed like one or two times. But this is the image, Mistress of the Dark, and this
Very
is
nice.
the, I don't know
Is this
who
a
did.
production piece or like where it's like
Now, Alan, I'm telling you, all I know is it's a display piece, and I think it was in a mystery box. He said I think that he had gotten that he had purchased, and this came with it, and he just thought it was kind of a fun display. And every time he would put this thing out on the back display, then people always go, "What about the Elvira?" I was one of them,
yeah?
but he had a very very nice man and very very helpful.
It's not a sex pillow, guys. Stop saying that in the comments. They keep on going on about sex pillows. It's really crazy.
Anyway,
Um,
but
it
that's
looks like
my.
a yeah. It looks like a video store display to me as
Yeah,
well.
it very well could be. I think you're right, Chonko. Here is
Yeah.
another Walter Johnson cover.
I
This
almost brought that one to show. I can actually one sec here. One sec.
and this is the key. The key is this guy that looks like the uglier cousin to the Phantom, because his mouth and the formation of his skull looks screwy, but the skull key that he has is the case of the skeleton key and five more original features. But it's a very striking. This is actually the file copy. If you can see right there above his head, it says file.
Right.
This is the file copy of this book. Now you'll notice that this one
Yours is
lived in a
better color.
drawer. This one lived in a file folder somewhere, because you can see how red mine is.
Yeah, mine's
I
much
mean,
more orangey.
yours has been exposed to oxygen more, which is the logical thing. But this is the thing with file copies. They live in a drawer, or they live in a filing cabinet in a
Mm-hmm.
manila folder or something like that, and they just sit there. And
Mm.
hopefully the file cabinet doesn't get too hot and dry the thing out. But this is it.
Very
Very cool.
nice. Very cool.
And this is another Walter Johnson, and this is a totally departure. But look at how
Oh, I have that
detailed.
one too, but it's mine slabbed.
look at how detailed this is with the jewels in the case, the dress, and all that other stuff that's going on, the ceiling of the ship that they're being caught, and she has a dagger key, you see right there in her hand.
Hmm.
And rather than have them ravish her, she stabs herself to death at the very beginning of the story.
That's brutal.
Not a particularly happy ending, I will tell you. Here is Lady Luck, number 87.
Okay.
These are hard to find. These are not easy books to
Yeah.
find. There are five of them all told, where
Hmm.
she has her name on the title. And the other ones I have two raw copies of this. The other three that I have are all slabbed. And the people that have them slabbed did so for a very good reason, because on account of there just aren't hardly any of these around. And Klaus Nordling, who took Eisner's design, Klaus Nordling made her his his charge, Lady Luck, and the interior artwork on these books is really, really good. And there's a lot of standing tropes that happen. Um, they're all really good. They
Oh,
are
really good.
they're all really good. There's not a I they're seriously they're all really good.
I kind
The
of like
very
the one
last
where
one,
she's looking around the curtain and the
that's a nice one, but
yeah.
the last one where there are two of them, where she's the one's trying to poison this Count Schmidlap, who's this ne'er do well piece of junk that's
Hmm.
always around. He's the guy that gets her into all manner of trouble. This is actually a Hangman cover, but it was reissued as Liberty Comics, but it has Hangman, MLJ Hangman
Yeah.
stories inside that were drawn by Harry Lucy,
Yeah. Liberty
who
Comics were all reprints,
they
but
were.
with unique covers.
Yeah. This has a really good, and this is not a terribly unusually difficult book to get. It's not easy, but
Hmm.
these do show up, and they almost always have that white stripe on the spine.
Very
Here
nice.
is, this is a big book, and I got this a long time ago, and it's been living with me, and it's Marvel
Oh,
Family
wow.
Comics #1, and it's the
Very
first
nice.
appearance, and then the death of or the shot into space story of
Hmm.
Black Adam. And this book is a extremely expensive book to buy and
It's
very
come
hard to
down a
find.
lot since the movie, but it
But
was
they've also
crazy.
started. They've started to climb. They're still very expensive. They're
Oh, it
starting to
was yeah.
climb back up again.
It was expensive even before the speculation of the movie. I mean, he's a loved character,
And so there's
and it's
that.
also the first Marvel family too.
It's the first Marvel family. Look at
Can you
that.
explain the file copies? Is it always?
The file copies were the ones that were produced by the company that they kept as reference to the books that they were producing. And so they would keep copies of them. They would keep them in the file for reference, and also the fact that they then prove that they had them. I mean, that is to say, but it's reference. They're file copies so that if a writer came in to want to then do something, then they could go to the file copies and then read the thing and get the idea of the canon. So if you're going to
Hmm.
write a story about a character you don't know anything about, and you haven't read the books properly, you can read the books to get a handle on who the character really is. And that's what it was. It's basically for business purposes. Here is a really cool Marvel Family cover, which
I have
is
to get a better copy of mine.
from the
Mine's so
from
faded.
the
Here's
the
the beautiful.
communist ones with the reds, and he's got blood on his fingers and everything else. And it's a really, really amazing cover. The interior story is okay, but the cover is dynamite.
That's a great
It's
one.
a real political statement. Here is Mitzi #1, which is
Oh
a fun
yes,
thing.
mine's graded, but yeah, that's a good
And
one.
here is a Mopsy. I
Oh,
have
very
I
nice.
have a whole bunch more raw romance books in the safe also. That this is the second big box of the romance stuff, and I also have raw Schomburg books, and I have raw all manner of raw books.
Hmm.
These are the ones that I just put in. If we do this again, I'll bring out box #1, which also has lots and lots of interesting stuff in it. Here is
Hmm.
a late More Fun Comics. This is More Fun '98. This is a very rare book, very low distribution, that is to say survival rate,
Yeah, the
and
more funds are quite rare.
all the way at the near the end, they're real tough. The covers are somewhat nebulous, and Clover and Dover are nowhere. And you know my feelings about having the sidekicks like Winky, Blinky, and Noddy, and Percival Pop, and Doiby Dickles, and all these other horses' asses that they have. And Dover and Clover are
Hmm.
right there.
Yeah, I don't like Dover and Clover. Kind of lame.
And I can't believe any of those kids would like that. Here is an early Jack Kirby cover, a very oddball
My
book. I've
date.
never seen another one. I guess they're
That's
out there. Some guy eating ice cream, being a schlub on the that. And then a few more, and then I'll have one more round at the end, right?
yeah.
Okay. So here is my experience, which is one of these my books that I've just my sin was a secret. I courted danger. I love thoughtlessly. All these things, very positive things to me. Here is my life true adventure pictures or whatever it is, stories and pictures.
I recently picked that up too. That's another one I
I
picked
can
up.
give you wealth beyond your wildest dreams. She says, let's see about that.
I'm not sure if that's considered a Sodi book or not. That's the one that came out after Cloris Archer. So that,
Corliss Archer.
yeah, Cloris
Okay.
Archer.
Here is my love life. Now you listen to
Uh,
me.
that's at my stackery.
My forbidden affair. I gambled with love, plus other exciting love stories.
Wow.
And there she's got a ring on her finger, and she's got the green with the little dots. These books are made on the cheapest, cheap ass, poorest, lousy paper you can see.
Box.
They're gray and mottled and purple and
It
plum and pink and everything else.
it looks like it
And
has a bit of that pink bleed through that
well, it has because the paper is so porous that the inside cover is a
is
duotone,
pink.
like
Yeah.
pink and white. So you have a black and white thing, and then all you get is pink. So it's a
Hmm.
duotone, and that's what they do. And they save money so that they print on the back cover. So you always have the ink that they put on that. The paper's so porous it doesn't sit on the paper; it penetrates the. This is the paper you have. It's part of the charm of these things.
Yeah.
But the artwork on these covers is dynamite.
Mm.
I think.
I actually, Dustin, I have Undercover Girl. I have the almost the complete run of it. I think I'm only missing one. I actually have the complete run. I just picked up the last one I was missing.
I have a few. Here is another one. My life.
It's
Promises,
a good one.
promises. Not this time, Joe. I'm leaving you. My husband was a gambler. A true story. And he's got her right by the hip. And he's trying to do something. Okay, there's that.
It looks like he's proposing to her, but she's like,
No,
"Get
no, no.
away
He's
from
trying to
me."
keep her. He's trying to keep her from leaving. Here
Hmm.
is my personal problem, which is not my personal problem, but it's her personal problem. Only yesterday I was so frightened I'd never again be able to call you my other darling.
Yeah, I know. That's so messed
My
up.
other darling. I was so worried I wouldn't be able to call you my other darling. What the hell?
Yeah.
How are things there for you in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I wished I was his girl. That is a personal problem.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Here is my just a few more exciting love
Yes, her
stories.
name was Anne. That's a
Anne.
joke from the previous one where Anne was a bit of a Anne would kiss anybody. Remember?
Yes, it must be. Here is my secret, Superior Comics. And she says, how dare you? Everything I've heard about you is true. I'm leaving this instant. Why, you little poor girl. She won't have a job this time tomorrow. So the boss wanted to exchange genetic information with her, and look, she turned him down.
Looks like she gave him a bit of a smack too.
She did give him a bit of a smack. That's Canadian. She belted him, is what we say in America. Here is my secret life.
Oh yes.
He says, allow me. This is the kind of stuff that you get with these my books. Look
Hmm.
at how lurid the colors are. Lurid, you
I think
say.
that's actually Wally Wood. I'm pretty
I think
sure.
it is Wally Wood.
Yeah.
I dared to love, My Secret Shame, and other exciting love stories. My Secret Shame. All of these stories, these titles that they put on the cover that are so amazing and exotic, and you think, oh my God, what am I going to get? And inside, it's like they're trying to sell a car or something like that.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
isn't. They promise the moon and Earth, moon, and the stars,
Hmm.
and they don't quite give you what you think you're going to get. But I love the pretense of it. And even at this,
Hmm.
you can still see there's a little bit of the transfer on the right edge there, the little bit of pink on that, because that's just the way it is. These things do not survive very well at all because they just basically they just sort of fall apart. Not as bad as the Canadian whites. Here is my friend Irma, which has a great.
Now everyone's doing Wally Wood jokes, and it's like,
How much wood would a Wally wood? As much wood as a Wally wood could wood, and with lots of wood. And here is this Dan DeCarlo, which is so cute.
mm-hmm. My friend Irma, great series.
A couple more. My Secret Marriage, then number 1.
Oh, nice.
Mother Didn't Know. The Chance I Took. Lonely for
I
Kisses,
have
and
all my secret marriages right there.
I Was a Cheat.
I could do twinsies with that one.
Here is My Secret Marriage, another one where she's
That's a good
hanging
one
out
too.
with the sailors at the malt shop, and he's saying, "Hey, baby, I may never come back again. What can you do for me?" Here is another My Secret Marriage, number 7. Honeymoon Hideaway, Without Romance, My Secret Bride, and Dangerous Moments, which sounds promising. They're sitting on the grass. They're going to get grass stains on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Here is My Secret Marriage. I'll go through the secret marriages and then I'll start because then it won't be secret anymore. Here is My Secret Marriage, number 11. Beautiful red cover. And again, it's the trope of the crying gal that got left out. How could I forget? After all these years, I met the girl I loved. Okay, fair enough. And then
A
here's
couple
another
more
red
was like
one.
5 or 6 more. What do you? You
No,
showing me
this is the last one right here. Here's
Okay.
My Secret Marriage, and this is issue number 20. Issue number 20, and another beautiful red
Okay.
cover.
All right.
Okay, take it away.
Okay. I'm surprised that you're putting those ones in the safe. They're not that big. But
You can't replace them.
okay, I guess so. I mean, I have those.
They're impossible. They're really hard to replace.
Okay, so I'm gonna show pre-code horror, and then I'm gonna show some. I'm gonna just finish my whole thing. So we got, this is actually kind of a cool book. This is International Comics number 5, and this is number 4. And it was part of a series that was a short run that EC Comics did, where they had like a different theme per title, per issue, I should say. One was like superhero, one was detective, one was horror, and I forgot what the other one was, like humor. And this was the horror copy, and it did the best of all the issues. So they thought, okay, maybe we should try horror with our regular titles like Crime Patrol and all those ones, and they shifted the company into being a horror titled company. So this is the book that kind of inspired EC to go into the horror genre. So yeah, International Comics number 4. And this one is not what it looks like, but it is a cool book, and it's really about the cover. It's Dynamic Comics number 11 with interior of number 14, I believe. So, but it's the cover that's the big thing. I just happened to buy it on Heritage Auctions, and basically it was one of those ones where they said it's the wrong cover, and like Dynamic number 14 is not a valuable book, but this cover is super valuable. So I basically got it for the cost of Dynamic 14, but with one of the best covers. So I'm still looking for the interior that corresponds to this great cover. So yeah, so I love that one. Gus Ricka. And then we got some Chilling Tales. And this is Chilling Tales. I forgot what number this is. Number 11, I believe. I just recently finished this run. It's a very short run, actually, even though it starts with like 11. Then we got this one, Chilling Tales, number 13. Yes, Matt Fox. And then we have, are you still there, Stephen?
I am indeed.
Okay, you just sort of.
I am indeed. I'm just
very
enjoying
quiet
the
when you-
show. I'm enjoying the show like everybody else.
Okay. So we got another, this is another Matt Fox. Yeah, Chilling Tales, number 14.
Boy, look at the color strike on that one.
This one
That is really a deep,
really
thick.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The color strike on that is incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of a creepy cover too. I don't know what's going on with his face.
Well, the title is Chilling Tales, is it not?
Yeah, he's wearing like sort of like a voodoo mask or something.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite of the run, where the skeleton guys are like lowering her into this pit
And all
of
the skeletons
skulls.
are all lashed up and chained to the walls and stuff.
Yeah, and she's being lowered into it. It's a really
And
great
what
cover.
company did these?
I believe is it Ajax or is it? It's like it doesn't say. Um, for some reason I want to say Ajax, but I'm not sure. I think it's Ajax. Um, this is a feral one. This is Haunted Thrills, and this is just a really great one where he's giving them a one-way trip for free taxi ride, but definitely
He has a death's head. He has a death's head pin on his hat,
yep.
which is that's what the Nazis use those. That's sort of
Oh really?
sad.
Oh
Yeah,
really? Okay.
the SS used that.
Yeah, yeah. So this is Haunted Thrills number 13. That's one of the bigger books from Haunted Thrills. And then I've shown this a few times, but I love it. Tomb of Terror number 15. And this one it's graded as a like my comic shop graded this as chilling youthful. Thank you, library. So the Chilling Tales is youthful. I just forgot the publisher. I forgot which publisher did it. But yeah, this one is graded as a 0.5. But the only reason is it has some spine issue. It's not incomplete or anything. It just has some spine issue and it's a bit faded.
Did you
But
count the pages?
yeah, no, it's complete.
Well, how can it be? Can a point 0.5 be complete?
Yes. So my comic shop graded it as a 0.5.
Well, okay,
So my point is, I think it would actually grade out at a 1
okay, I dig you.
because yeah. So it's it is split, but you can still get a 1 with that. You can even get as high as a 1.5 if it really displays nicely, but it doesn't really display that nicely. So I figure it'll get a 1 if it gets graded.
Understood.
So I mean, basically the difference in price though is insane. So I got this for like I think it was 1,500. A 1 goes for about 3 to 4,000.
Lord Almighty.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty crazy. So so those are some pre-code horror ones. Now we're going to get into some DC books. We got Action Comics number 80. And this is the first cover appearance of, and you can say it for me.
Mix Yez Piddle Ick. Mr. Mix
Mix
Yez Piddleick.
Yaz It'll
No, no, no. Mix Yez
Yaz Ick
Piddle
Piddle
Ick.
Ick. Mix Yaz Piddle
Yes.
Ick.
Look at the word.
Okay,
Look at the name.
mix
Mix Yez Piddle Ick.
Yaz Piddle Ick. Right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay. I won't get that again, but oh well. And this one is the one you mentioned earlier, actually. Um, this is the first kind of almost like a tryout Supergirl because it's where Lois Lane gets super powered. Um, and I think this came out before the tryout issue with Supergirl, didn't it?
Superboy 5, I think, was 1948 or 49. But this is the
This is
first look at that. But
49
it's
as well.
super. But what they've done here is they've basically channeled Wonder Woman, okay, to basically they gave Lois Lane a Superman-ish
Supergirl.
costume. But if you look at her boots and look at her dress, there are certainly Wonder Woman overtones to that.
Uh, maybe. I can see it. It has like more of a square shoulder as well. I'm not sure if you can see
Well,
that.
she's also short-sleeved, which is bizarre.
Yeah. So, but
Who
this
did the
is
cover on that one?
I'm gonna guess Wayne Boring. I don't know.
I would say I would guess Wayne Boring as well.
Yeah. But okay. And then we have my sensation run. A little bit of my sensation run. I have lots of sensation books, but I'll show you. I got these all together. So number 8. I love these sensation books. I think they have really
And
great
there's
covers.
there are the girls from the what's the name of the college they're in?
I don't know. I
Well,
actually
it's
forgot
Etta
the college name.
Candy's. It's Etta Candy
Eddie's
and the girls
Candy's
from
like
college that
university
basically
girls.
are
Yeah.
they come and rescue her every so often. They're all and all the gals are ready to go and they're ready to fight and they're ready
And they
to
always
do the
get in
right thing.
bondage or something happens to them. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I think, well, Marston did work in a university. So I think he had a
Do
bit
you
of a
know the
fetish.
interesting thing is that if you in the university they can be
The Holiday
independent.
Girls?
The holiday girls, holiday college.
Oh, that makes
The
sense.
thing about it is the girls at the college had free will, but if you cross them on Paradise Island, on
Hmm.
Themyscira or whatever it is, then they would basically send you to this gulag where you'd have to be re-indoctrinated into obeying the goddess of love and paying
Oh,
attention
wow.
and bondage and loss of status and all that other stuff. It's really, I mean, Marston was he was a sick puppy.
He had some, a couple fetishes that he
He
would
had a few
include.
he had a few kinks in the cord.
Yeah, yeah. But I like this one. It's like the milk company, International Milk Company. I think that's fun. And this is the big one that everyone likes. This is the Sensation Comics number 6, which is the first appearance of her lasso. And it's also the first appearance of the kangaroo, Jumpa. So that's kind of the big one. This is
That's a
actually a
nice.
really major key. And I actually got them for a steal. Like the person that listed them really didn't know what they had. They listed 2 through 5, 2, 3, 4, and then or no, it was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as like separate lots, and then 10, 11, 12. So it was like 3 lots of 3, and they listed them for $1 each, like the lots at the beginning, and like it went like they all went kind of wild because people that knew what they were obviously went crazy for them. But I put all my effort into winning that lot with 6, 7, 8 because I really wanted the first super
Jumpa.
pet. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Jumpa.
Jumpa.
And you're the one that told me about this book.
You bet.
This is Flash Comics 88. It's the first appearance of the Gentleman Ghost,
And
right?
that is also a Joe Kubert cover.
Joe Kubert cover. It's actually weird because Gentleman Ghost appears in a Hawkman story. So it's not a Flash story, it's a
Because
Hawkman story.
the gentleman ghost went up against Hawkman and Hawkgirl, not
Hmm.
Flash.
Yes.
But Flash at this point, Flash always had Hawkman right from the issue number one. All Flash is where you basically, and they didn't have a Hawkman title. They just gave it All Flash,
Yeah, all
and
Flash, which is weird.
Hawkman had to make do in Flash and also All Star.
Hmm. So yeah, so major book. You when you expressed how hard it was for you to find it, it made me have to find it.
I waved a red flag in front of you.
Yeah. And here's another one. This one I just recently picked up. This is Green Lantern number, I forgot what number, 30. And again, another super pet one. Got the super pet right there, a streak. And that's the Green Lantern super pet. I don't know. I'm really into super pets. So I like getting all those first key super pet appearances. And this one's another kind of sort of big one.
Well, Superboy number one.
Superboy number 1. It's a little bit of rough grade, but yeah. Actually, I have a pretty good run of the first issues of Superboy for some reason. I have 1 through 5, I think, or 1 through 6 or 7.
So you have the first appearance, the first Supergirl tryout,
Yeah, of course.
number five. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I have all those. And now we're switching into Good Girl, and this is my last stack. Okay, so we got Phantom Lady, and this is when it became Ajax. Now, before this, it was Fox Featured Syndicate, but it becomes Ajax. Still in the golden age, but it's slightly different blonde Phantom Lady.
Now
Um,
this one, as you can see, has suffers from the code coming on.
Well,
are
it's not
about
it's
to
not
come
a
on.
code book yet,
No,
but
no,
it
I'm
is.
saying I'm saying the code coming on
Hmm.
because they have moderated her outfit and also how voluptuous she is too.
Yeah,
In other words, they've dialed back all the things that you loved about it, and she's wearing this sort of blue unitog that is sort of a blue
yeah, it's
gray.
nice.
It no it, it the colors on these
I like the
books.
shark though. That weird missile
No, the
like.
shark is cool. But the thing is that the color strikes on these, they're very dark. A lot of Atlas books look like this too, where the
Hmm.
like the last submariners and torches, they're dark, really dark.
In other words, yes, she has small boobs. Okay, and you can see the difference in the Fox feature version. This is a Matt Baker cover. This is number 14, or yeah,
That's the
number,
second issue.
or yeah, I believe it's number 14.
It
Let
is
me,
14. 13
yeah,
is the first. That's the green cover with the big hand pointing at her.
yes, yes. But this is yeah, pretty cool cover. And then we have I forget what issue number this is. Number 22.
Nice.
So I like the Phantom Lady ones. They're pretty fun.
Well, the difference in her breast size between 14 and that one, I
Yeah,
mean, there it is like night and day. You almost think that Kamen might have had a hand in that because they're
that's what
not
I'm
quite
saying.
they're not quite Feldstein. They're not quite Al Feldstein on 14, but they're pretty
Hmm.
darn close.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then we were talking about Lady Luck. Well, this is Lady Luck's first appearance. Smash Comics number 42.
That's her first appearance in a comic book, but she was also
Yes.
in one of the spirit sections.
Yes.
I don't know
Yes.
which one.
Yeah, I forgot. I have it written down somewhere. But this is her first comic book appearance. And then I figured I should show these ones too. My
Oh, love it.
Canteen Kates.
That's
It's the
that's in
Matt
my other
Baker.
box. When we do this again at some point, I'll bring out my first box that has all of my raw Schomburgs and a lot of the raw Baker books and all that other stuff that I will show.
Yeah, I really like this cover. I just like I don't know something about it. Just the
And
composition is
I
really good.
wonder who turned you onto that one. Who was that turned you onto
Yeah,
that one?
that was you.
That's a
And this
Harley
one,
ebook too.
this is actually from some collection.
Yeah, but that's a Harley ebook.
Yeah, it is a Harley ebook.
You know
You're
how
right.
I know?
How do you know?
The price sticker. I've seen that about a zillion times. I've done business with
Oh
Harley.
yes,
I did
yes,
business with Harley for years.
yeah. He always his prices are quite the quite
The
the thing.
he didn't used to be quite so expensive, and I did a lot of business with Harley in the day, but he has become more expensive, and he sure turns the books up though.
You know, it's weird. Most people, I don't think most people like the ones where they zoom in on the face, but I actually like the big face covers. So I don't know. It's a thing. I like it. These ones are all signed by Matt Baker as well. I mean, signed on the printing.
They're printed with his
Yeah,
signature.
which is not common for him. A lot of the ones from St. John, though, have his signature on them. So, like the other titles that St. John did. And then we got Doll Man Quarterly, number 8. And
Is
this
that the
is the,
first doll girl?
no, first Torchy.
Ah,
So this is another big book. Actually, really nice presenting one. This was My Comic Shop 4.5.
wow.
So, but it presents really, really nicely. I don't really know what
What
there's
year
not.
is that? 46 or
I
47?
believe it's I think it's like 47 or 8 or 9, somewhere around there. Like it's end of the 40s. I think I want to say 48 because I believe Torchy 1 is like 49.
I can see Torchy 1 behind you. Could you just see what the grade is on the label?
Yeah, it's 49.
Okay,
Yeah, 49.
fair enough.
So, yeah, so it'd be 1940. Like they
8.
ran a few issues in Dollman before she got her own title. Okay, and then we got Dizzy Dames number 1. Another very cool book. I love this series, by the way. Dizzy Dames is really awesome. I'm only missing one issue right now. Um, you mean this isn't where they pick Miss America? It's like a dog show. So, I don't know. I like Dizzy Dames. It's quite fun. You got like a whole bunch of different characters like Veronica and all those ones. It's quite fun. And this one I know you have, but you don't have this version. Popular Teenagers, number 5. And this is one of the classic LB Cole covers. So yeah, I just really like this one. You have the accepted one, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. I mean, both are insanely expensive because they're such a great cover. I really like it.
I think that there was a warehouse find or some find of them some time ago because all of a sudden one of them sold and then about 4 or 5 showed up, and it's such a distinctive cover that
Hmm.
the fact they were showing up, but they all evaporated into the
Yeah,
hobby.
they're quite popular. And this one's another really rare one. This is actually Al Felstein's first cover, I believe.
She looks it, but I think that the one that I have with her in the jalopy, I think that predates that. I really think that I you can't look at that Dina looking gal and not
Hmm.
think that that's it, because I really do think that I think that's incorrect.
Okay, so one last one here. I'm just going to show, and then I'm gonna switch over to you.
Okay.
And this is Babe number 1. And just
Babe Babe was done by who was
uh,
the artist?
Booty Rogers.
Booty Rogers, and Booty Rogers was from the Oklahoma Territory, and when it was a territory, before it became part, it was in the he was in the Panhandle, and he was grew up on an Indian reservation,
Okay.
and it was that kind of a thing, and Indian lands. But his take on hillbillies was slightly different and not quite as overt sexually as Al Cap was with Dog Patch and Little Abner. Okay, here is My True Love, Thrilling Confessions. You will never understand, he says. She also has the blonde phantom dress on. Here's Mysteries Weird and Strange, Superior Comics. Here's Mysteries Weird and Strange, which looks like the first appearance of Thing from the Addams Family, the severed hand chasing her. Very hard book. This is a very hard book to find. Here is Nellie the Nurse, number 21. This nice good girl Marvel comic, Atlas comic sequence. Here is Nellie the Nurse, number 23. Another good girl cover of that vintage. Alan, did you go away? This book is from Brazil, and it features a cover that was on the Saturday Evening Post, and they had the rights to produce this cover. Inside you have Batman and Robin, you have Bullet Man, you have some other timely characters. Then you have some Brazilian ones as well, and it's just an unbelievably amazing study of a cover. And
Sorry about
it
that.
that's okay.
My
And
wife was at the door. That's why.
oh, okay.
Okay.
But this was done
Oh, the
during
Guri one.
was done during World War II, and they always had that the person at the end of the year has the long beard, and then the baby is in January is the new year
Hmm.
starting, and here's the baby of the new year still fighting the Axis during the war.
I think that's the most valuable of the Guris, or the
I you
most
never see it.
desired.
You
Yeah,
never
it's very
see it.
desired.
Here is Operation Peril, which is a beautiful book. This is a little bit later in the day, but also a very, very difficult book to
I
find.
was actually looking at a copy of that today that I was actually trying to pick that one up.
Here is Out of Night, another
Oh, that's another
ACG.
one. Very nice.
Out of the Night.
Yeah.
Here's the third book of the trilogy. It's Out of This World.
I knew it
So
was
it's
out of something. Yeah.
Out of Our Minds. This
Yeah.
is Out of This World, and then Flying Saucers and An Earthman on Venus are the three books from Avon that are
Hmm.
all one shots, Avon fantasy, if you will. That's the actual Earthman on Venus says Avon Adventure, Avon's Fantasy up in the corner. This just says Avon Publication, but these three Avon books are the three one shots that are the ones that you really want to faucet cover again. Crom the Barbarian, which has a very Conan overtones to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much.
Here is a great one. This is a realistic comic. This is called Parole Breakers with a guy with a Thompson.
Oh,
Did I freeze?
either you froze or I froze. One of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is an oddball. This is Pep Comics number 19. And this is pre-war, and I've never seen another copy of this, but they have these fifth columnist Nazis that are trying to blow up a submarine pen.
Very odd. Yeah.
And so you have the Shield, you have the Hangman, and you have Dusty,
Those
who is the
pre-Archie books are really pricey. Really hard to find.
well, you never see them. They just don't survive. They are the
Mm.
much lower count. Here is a police comics. They are very expensive to get, evidently, and I didn't want to lose it, but this is one, crime, crime, crime.
I just bid on that copy on Sunday, but I lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here is the first, this is the first issue of Prince Valiant,
Hmm.
and this is feature book number 26. This is the first feature book, Donald McKay. This is the first feature book that has a glossed cover, and also is the first that has color all the way through. And it's also the first one that is of the standard size. Although it's an annual, it's a big, thick one.
Hmm.
But this is a very, very difficult book to find in nice condition. The back cover is identical to the front cover, except it's a Virgin variant cover. It's a
Yeah,
pinup.
yeah. Very
And
nice.
I bought this from Harley E. Actually,
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
long time ago. Here is Prison Break number 1.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful gal.
I still haven't found my copy of that, or found a copy of that. Ever since somebody took it from my card, I've never been able to replace it.
Whoever it is, a pox upon his head. Here is Romantic Love. It's just this was not an expensive book, but it's just a lovely
Oh,
cover.
that's a good one. That's nice. I like that a
I
lot.
think this was like $55. So
Oh,
when
wow.
people say you can't afford Golden Age, books like this are $55.
And
Avon.
that's a great one. I mean, I
I mean, it
really
was a
like that.
steal. I mean, is
I
what it
like the
was.
fact that it looks like she's taking off her clothes or putting her clothes on or whatever. Yeah.
Did you notice that too?
It's a good
Here
one.
is here, here is Rusty, another one
Yeah.
of these good girly ones, number 18.
I like it. That's a cool, cute cover. I mean, they're all imagining that he's going to get a raise and how they're going to spend his money, and
And no, they aren't.
you're fired.
No,
Yeah.
they ain't. Here is Sensation Comics 45. This has the All American stamp on it as well. This should be in with my Wonder Womans. And sometime, Alan, I will show my Wonder Woman collection
Okay.
because I have a very large Wonder
Yeah.
Woman. I don't have a complete
Yeah.
run
You
like you
told me you
do.
picked up from one collector the a
That's a
run.
story. That's a Lemon Tree
Yeah.
story. I'll tell it again some other time.
Mm.
But this is a very nice cover. H.D. Peters cover. This is a
Yeah, it's
very
great.
nice copy.
I
It's
really like the
odd how
sensation covers. I think they're great.
it's very interesting how these books show up, how they show
Hmm.
up, and how they live. This was in and amongst books that it should not have been with. It's just a survivor that just
Hi,
sort of
Upstate.
appeared. Here is Skyman number 3.
Oh, very nice. Actually,
This
I
is
could almost
Ogden.
do twinsies on that one. I have that one handy too.
This is Ogden Whitney.
Do I have that really handy or not?
Here is Spellbound number 20,
Oh, okay.
which is a lovely cover.
Yeah, that's
And this
another
is
one.
Russ Heath, I think.
Russ Heath, that's right.
But this has a very, very nice color strike on it. Okay. Here is one of the three spirit covers. I'm missing the nurse cover, but I have this femme fatale and I have the one with Skinny on the cover.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that little run of femme
Three.
fatales.
Three,
Yeah.
yeah, they stand alone. Here is here is Sugar Bowl number 4, and
That,
it's Tulsi
I know
Gabbard's mother.
when I first saw Sugar Bowl as a comic, that's what I thought. Tulsi Gabbard.
Don't
Yeah,
mess with her now.
I know
She's
she's
director
kicking
of
butt.
National
Yeah, I
Intelligence.
know. You don't mess with her at all.
What were you saying about me? Nothing. Nothing. Here is Sugar Bowl number 5, which is another really cute. This is a particularly bright, a white cover.
Oh,
I think I already
oh
did, didn't
yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah. No, I was just checking. Sorry, I just 1 sec. Sorry. There we
That's
go.
all right. All my problems. Here is a classic cover. This is Taffy Comics uh, from 1948. And oh my goodness, Mort Leav did this cover. I don't know what old Mort was trying to do, but by God, he sure did it, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a great one.
You'll
That's another trope of the girls skating to the thin ice kind of thing.
and everyone in the background's going, no, no, and he says, look, they're all just they think we're great,
Hmm.
but this is a very onerous, and you'll find they survive in really really low grade.
Mine's like a 1-0. That's like really
Here's
brutal.
True Life Secrets, just a really cool and interesting cover with
That's
all
one
these
that's actually
eyeballs,
hard to find. Very hard to find that book.
just really pretty.
Mm.
Here is a LB Cole True to Life Romances number 6 with Mandinka as the man.
Hmm.
She's got her little purse. They swam over from the yacht. They're smoking, cutting butts, and getting ready to do something. Here is a Matt Baker cover. This is a 100 pager. These are
Nice.
tough. The 100 pagers, they don't hold up at all. They don't show up very often, and this is a very, very nice copy.
And was that 15 cents or how much was it?
25 cents.
25 cents.
Yeah, this is 25 cents. 100
Wow.
pages for 25 cents. This is issue number 5. True
Imagine
Love
that'd be
Pictorial.
extremely rare.
I bought these back in 23, early April of 23. I started on those. And that was before Alan had already started buying Baker books. And this is when all the books were coming out. I've already gone through that too. We don't have time for that. Here's True Secrets, and she's beautiful. And this is a J. Scott Pike cover,
Yeah. Very nice.
who did the dolphin in
Yes.
Showcase. Here is the Grope cover.
I
This
was
is
actually debating about showing
unbelievably.
that one. That's
What's
funny.
that?
I was debating about showing that one.
This is a Chick Stone cover. TV Teens is a screwy title that they had, and it's Ozzy and Babs, and this is approved reading.
Mm.
It's wholesome entertainment. It's what it says on that little thing. It says wholesome entertainment, approved reading, as he's basically groping this woman's breasts. This
Yeah.
is an incredibly rare book. Was it 4 on the census, Alan? Something like that?
Five on the census.
Someone was asking about Undercover Girl, and here's a beautiful copy of the motorcycle cover.
Yep, that's
Issue
one of the
number
good ones.
6. These are almost invariably are chewed up and have a very, very poor color strike on them. This is an ME, Magazine Entertainment. Yes, his hands are huge. They're about 18 inches long. And you know what they say about big hands and big feet, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So anyway, but she's got her little petticoat right there. As he's shooting on her, she takes off on her Indian, right?
Nice.
And I mean Indian as motorcycle.
Yes, I got that.
Here is Western Bandit Trails. This is a Matt Baker cover that has a different inker. And it's signed down here by the cowboy, Matt Baker. You see by his leg there, Matt Baker. Right there. But it's really cool. She's got a busted bottle, and it's shoot 'em up. And then I have another Western Bandit Trails, and this I've never seen another copy of this book. And
Oh,
it
cool.
wasn't, and they didn't really know. It's signed Matt Baker right there in a slightly different signature, but this is an incredibly rare, odd. I've never seen more than one copy, and whoever had this when I bought it didn't know what they had. And
Hmm.
so I snapped it because her skirts going up, you really see clear up to almost to her trademark.
Nice.
Have you ever seen that one, Alan?
Nope, that's a new one for me.
Here is a book that Alan taunted me with, and our friend Joe from
Joe was the one
Black
taunting
Box
both of
Silver and
us.
Bronze, who had two of
Yeah.
them, and he says, "No, I'm not going to sell the other one. No, I'm not going to sell the other one.
You know
No,
how
I'm
many
not going to sell."
times I wrote to him asking to trade with him?
And it was
It's
all
never.
for naught. I've only
Yeah.
got four more. But I finally found the copy, and I stole this one, and I
Hmm.
stole it from
Oh
to
yeah.
me it's this was half of what it was supposed to be, and there are hardly
You
any
showed
of
me.
these.
You showed me a .5 that they wanted crazy money for.
Yeah, there was a slab .5 that was more expensive than this 4.5 they call it, which I think is closer to a 5.5.
Hmm.
The spine is enough that it would keep it from a 6, but it's a real the color strike on this is just, isn't it amazing, Alan?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's great. Um, those are cuffs that keep her ankles warm. Yes.
That's the only thing. And she wears one, and in the book it's white. It's on my Instagram. You might want to take a look at it. I got the whole story, and it's awful. It's cannibalism. It's
Yeah.
stereotypes.
She eats the people from the town.
She eats the people from the town. She takes these
Yeah.
fat guys out, out and says, "I want you to meet my family, and we'd like to have you for dinner." And
Yeah. Yeah.
when she says "have you for dinner," she means "have you
Have
for
you for
dinner."
dinner? Yeah.
And then they show them all lying down there going burp, and they have food coma. Here
Hmm.
is my copy of Women Outlaws #1.
Nice.
And this is probably an 8.5
Oh
uh,
wow.
copy of this book. I really lucked out on this one.
That's another. That's the Sodi book.
This is a Seduction of the Innocent book. And the last two that I have, I'll show the #2 first because then I'll stop. I'll end with the #1. Here is
Oh, zip jet.
Zipjet Comics #2. I bought these as a pair,
Very nice.
and
I
they're
like zip jet.
and the image of the aircraft is what they called a flying boxcar. And this is what they used in the Berlin airlift. This was one of the ones that was not a very good plane, but it could carry an awful lot of stuff. The air handling characteristics were terrible. When I was a little boy living in Eastmoreland in Portland, in our backyard we had a huge cherry tree, and they were Queen Anne's, and I would, and the birds would get after my father would go crazy. But the these flying boxcars would fly over the house all the time, and they'd always be in ones and twos that would fly over, and the engines were loud as hell. It was really, really a noisy aircraft. I'll never forget it. And I always, and later on in life, of course, I knew because I studied World War II aircraft, the P-38 Lightning, the twin booms. But this particular aircraft, even for all its problems, they produced the hell out of it. This was used in Korea till hell wouldn't have it. And again, the Berlin airlift, because the Russians had surrounded Berlin and were trying to starve them out and all that, those wonderful Russians that, thank God, they're not causing any problem anymore. Okay, and the last book I have, this one, I really wanted to get a copy, and the prices on these books is really high, and a guy knew what he had, but he priced it fairly. And this is Zipjet Comics #1.
Hmm. I'm not
And
really
this,
sure what they did with those characters. Like they really didn't go very far.
no, but what there is wonderful.
Hmm.
And she's sexy, and they have these pellets they put in for their jetpacks.
Yeah, yeah,
And I have a book called Atomic Comics #1, which is the Canadian version of the one that looks like the Atomic Comics #1 was a warehouse find. The American version looks very much like Detective Comics #1, which is the Fu Manchu cover.
yeah.
And it's not as good, and there was, like I say, there was a warehouse find of them. They weren't that great. But the Atomic Comics one, the Canadian version, has
Really
the
rare.
zip jet couple, and it is an absolutely amazingly beautiful cover. But I have that in a slab, so I have to. So that is our show. Alan, take it away.
Okay, I have one book, one last book to show, and I just had to grab it. So that's what I was doing there. I was climbing around. Um, and you have this book, but you're the one that found it first, and I, followed your lead. But it is another book that I feel like if, it's one that I should get graded at some
Oh
point.
boy, what a great book that is. How rare. I'm still
Yeah.
stunned that you could find that.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, when you got it, I was like, oh man, that's just too cool. I have to find it. And I actually found it relatively quickly, which is weird. It's not an easy book to find. The interesting thing is, for some reason, the vendor that had this book, um, yes, it is a Quebec book. The vendor that had it had me blocked because I guess I put a best offer in and they thought I was lowballing or something, and then they just blocked me altogether. So I couldn't buy. When is it our turn? When is it our turn? Or when? Yeah, when is it our turn? Yeah. So Matt can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Um,
Alan, do you have the other copy handy that they could see the difference between the two?
yeah, I could grab it. Just
I
give me a
think
sec.
you should because it's such a departure.
Yeah. 1 sec here. Just bear with me. Oof. I have to climb over all the boxes that I had to get out in order to get the set. Okay, so this is the American version, slabbed. Um, and then this is the Canadian version. So you can see very different. Um, Now the Canadian version is quite cool. It's sort of like, what if communism happened in Canada? And these are insanely rare. I think it's like less than 4 on the census.
If that.
Um, it's just a really rare book. But the vendor, as I was saying, yeah, when is it our turn? That's what I said. When it's our turn. Okay. Okay. And the interesting thing was the vendor had me blocked. So what I did is I set up a new account on eBay just so I could buy this book. So yeah.
Well, I tell you that when Alan and I will go down rabbit holes together,
Hmm.
and Alan was telling me I finally found a copy of that book as well. Is this tomorrow? And I ended up buying the book, and then I was looking on because
Yes, it's
Alan was,
very appropriate for now, by the way, in Canada.
yeah, the hand of communism. Isn't it true?
Hmm.
Isn't it
Yeah.
true? So, but the upshot of it was I went on and I said, Alan, Alan says, no, there's a 10-cent version, there's a 15, there's a no price version, there's all these things because it's a Christian thing, basically as a warning. I won't say it's propaganda, but I guess it
Hmm.
really is propaganda. Know
Hmm.
your politicians, pay attention to what's going on. Don't let legislation go through that's bad. Don't let your speech rights be infringed. Although in Canada, you don't have any speech rights in Canada, which
Hmm.
is rather intriguing that they would have a comic talking about the freedom of speech and you don't even have it.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, but the upshot
It's
of it was I looked at these different versions of it, and then I saw this that they will have images of the different covers, and I saw that hand, this huge communist hand reaching in to
yeah.
grab, have the French Canadians by the neck,
Hmm.
and I'm goes, oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah,
And then,
actually I like it better than the
oh,
American
the
version.
other, there's no comparison. That is a
I
far
mean,
better
both are
cover.
great though. This is actually a
No,
pretty
no,
cool.
it's the fire and it's the the writhing masses, the
Let me
writhing
just
people on the cover, writhing under communism.
it um here, I'm just taking it out of the plastic here.
And I think they only have eight. They don't have as many.
They
They
don't
don't
have as
have as
many
many.
slogans on the back. So if you look
No,
at
there are
the
10, I
American one,
think, on this one. Yeah, there's
yeah, the
10.
commandments, 10 commandments
The
kind of
the
idea.
10 commandments of citizenship, pay attention, don't get rolled over, which America finally did. But that one they have like six, four or five.
I'll show the
Yeah.
insides. It's actually color, which is a big deal for Canada. It's in color.
Is Alan, was that torn in the middle? Is there some tears in the middle there?
There's like a little stain or tearing
No, no, no.
at the.
Inside the book.
Oh yes.
Go
There
careful. Go
was.
careful. Go careful.
Yeah.
No, no.
It is.
Close it. Don't mess with it. Don't
Yeah.
mess with it.
It is a little bit rough. It
Well, there
is
aren't any of
detached.
them. What? How many are there? Five?
Yeah, it's
Four?
detached, and yeah, I think there's four on the census.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's even that. Is there a
So,
price on that one?
so the interesting thing is this one has it was it looked like the original staples were removed
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. What
because
is
they
the
were
price? Does it show a price on it?
no, no, it doesn't.
Okay.
Does yours
The,
have a price on yours?
no, no, mine's just like
No.
yours, except
Okay.
mine's a slab. I have both of mine are slabs
This
that I
one would
have.
look nice if it's slabbed, but it's
Well, that one certainly deserves to be slabbed. It's so
yeah,
rare.
yeah, yeah.
But well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is beautiful, beautiful book. That's a great one to end on.
Hmm.
These books that we have that we've shown you, we actually have more. We'll do this again sometime if you like,
Hmm.
because it's you don't really go. You show the slabs a lot because they're all in their
Yeah,
protective
it's easy to
cases and they're
show,
all
and
jazzy
yeah.
and all this other stuff. And here's this copy of this book.
The thing
But
I like about the slabs is it has all the notes, so I don't sound like an
it
idiot. I'm
has the
like,
notes, but
guessing the artist.
but the thing is that, and as I said, this is years and years and years of collecting. Where, and this is the trick that I always say is, if
Mhm.
you buy a book that's hard to get, and it's and you're sad, it's a good book, if you can hold on to your books, hold on to them, because that gives you the chance for them to appreciate and value. And that has worked out very, very well for me for
Mhm.
books that I bought years ago that I held. And the appreciation that occurred, that just tended to occur, and I happen to have tastes that a lot of people seem to share my tastes, made it so that I was very, very liquid and I was able to chase after stuff that I really wanted to go after
Mhm.
later, because my tastes actually have changed away from my whole Bronze Age stuff. For the most part,
Yeah, yeah.
is I basically decided that I was going to convert my bronze books into Golden Age books, because that Golden Age is really where I'm at. And I like silver because sentimentally I grew up with silver, so I have silver. But the
Mhm.
Golden Age is because of the history and stuff, and I'm all about history. So here ends the lesson. And Alan, I thought you showed some truly beautiful books.
I,
Honestly, you have some of the early rare, rare, rare books that you
there's
just
not in
don't
high grade though.
see.
I'm not a high grade
Well, I know,
collector,
but
but
they don't. If you wanted, okay, that's fine. So you find
mhm.
a slab that's a 5.0 of one of those books, and you could get that, or get all the ones that you just got, where
Yeah.
you have presentable copies to show. And I think
Mhm.
there's a lot to being a completist, is its own virtue.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you for hanging out. I'm glad Stevie D liked it. And but yeah, we try to wow you guys every week. So stay tuned to next week. We'll have even cooler things. I don't know what we're gonna show.
Oh,
Um,
there's gonna be something good.
I actually have something that was sent over a month ago. Okay, and it was express shipped here. And it's been sitting in customs for about a month. It's like a bunch of really major books. They're just sitting in customs um, that I was hoping to show at some point.
Is this on
So
the American side that it's being held?
it's held on the American side. It's
Oh,
right now in New York. So
is that
maybe
usually where they stop? Is that the last stop on its way to
yeah,
Ottawa?
yeah. It's the last stop before it gets on the flight and then comes into Canada.
Okay.
But if that arrives, maybe I'll show a few of the books from it because it'll be
Oh,
quite.
that'd be so
There's
cool.
some really cool ones in there that are really awesome.
Well, I think I remember you talking about these a long time ago,
Hmm.
and how much you were looking forward to them. And of course, the mail. all of this trouble with the mails and everything else that the Canadian Postal Service did, really, they're still,
They're so
I know
messed
that
up.
Bleeker's still waiting for stuff that hasn't come to him.
Hmm.
I sent him an AOK for Christmas,
Hmm.
and also books that he had gotten from Houdat, and they're just sitting there languishing at the
Takes
border,
forever.
just like yours are.
Yeah, so I'm waiting. I'm hoping that it'll be soon that they'll release it. It's been a month that it's been sitting in customs. So yeah, so hopefully soon. The There are other books though that I will be showing tomorrow that are pretty awesome. So my next unboxing series, I gotta quickly do a little pitch for it because these are books that are just insane. Like I don't know what was going on with me. My New Year's resolution this year was not going to spend too much money. I'm going
Oh
to
God,
really cut.
Alan, please don't even go there.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Okay.
that ship has sailed.
Okay, so I failed. I failed my New Year's resolution pretty quickly. I ended up buying a bunch of really big books. It's a Grail unboxing. Pretty much
Mm.
every episode. I think there's one episode that doesn't have anything really that special in it, but you will watch that anyways because it's going to be awesome anyways. But every other episode has at least one Grail in it, and then the finale has like four major Grails. Like it's just like
Oh, cool.
it's like it's 11 episodes long. It's a really cool series that starts tomorrow. Definitely you don't want to miss it. I think the first one kind of sets the tone for the rest of the series, so
Excellent.
it's going to be pretty
Excellent.
cool. When did Alan win the lottery? I did not win the lottery, and I'm down a couple kidneys, but I'm still trucking. So yeah, so that's
The
what
thing
just.
is, the thing is that when you hit your earning years,
Mhm.
and if it coincides with when the market is down,
Yes, you gotta kind
then
of.
those things happen. I I have been buying books, and if you've been watching, you've seen that I have.
Mhm.
And it was I liquidated a collection to go after. It is an addiction, but I liquidated a collection, another collection of firearms, in order
Mhm.
to pursue books, and it was the right thing to do. And I would much prefer, also for estate purposes, to have to sell a whole bunch of firearms to, I mean, as far as on a tangible asset basis,
Mhm.
that I am far more in tune, and the history of those was wonderful too. But at the
Mhm.
same time, a comic book takes up less space and also is not as controversial as a
Mhm.
firearm. And because,
Yeah.
and even now there is a great deal of effort and onus to firearms, which it shouldn't be, but there is.
Mhm. Mhm.
And but with comic books, there isn't, and I think that it's my first love, and I was able to take advantage of the way the market was here recently. And Alan and I are both saying, and I guess I'm saying a little bit more than Alan. He's a little bit cagier than I am, but I am saying that it is going to be a seller's market. It's going to start being more of a seller's market than it has been a buyer's market, because on
Mhm.
account of the economy is going to turn around because we have a new boss
I I
running
did a
our
good video.
country.
I think I did a pretty good in-depth video of why I thought the market would turn around. Um, and I think I'm pretty much right.
No, no, I don't think
I'm-
there's any question. We've been talking about this for quite some time,
yeah.
because it was just, and I'll just say it real quick, that we saw so many books that we never saw. And I
Mhm.
kept saying to Alan, I said, I've never, these books don't show up, and look at
Mhm.
what's coming up. Look at these
Yeah.
books that have come out. And it was
Mhm.
like people getting out of the market. Some of it was attrition for people
Mhm.
that were getting out of their collections completely, but a lot of it was people that these are luxuries and they were selling them because they needed the money, because it's expensive to live. And now, hopefully, in the next 6 to 8 months or so, we'll have a diminution of our expenses. And but I think that people who have gotten rid of books are going to want to go back after their books. And I think all the market, it's everything's been sucked up. And I'm one of the guys that's been buying, because I've been at this long enough that I know for a fact you just never see. A lot of the ones I've showed you today
Mhm.
are ones that are, I'd never, you get one shot at them because
So
they are
yeah,
so hard to find. You get one shot.
actually, you know what? Adrift sort of brought up something that I kind of feel like would be a really good episode for next week. And something to kind of look forward to. How about we show, and this is a bit of a challenge to us, uh, books that are under $50, but golden age.
I don't have any.
No,
I
you
don't
do, you
have
do,
any.
you do.
I
You
literally do not have any that are under $50. I
like,
don't.
well, okay, like under $100 maybe would be a more realistic thing. But like, there are ones like the Captain Marvels, the some of the Good Girl stuff. Some of the books, there's a lot of books that you can buy that are more
I'll,
affordable.
I know that they are. I am not. I think that this is more in your wheelhouse
Because I have cheap
because
copies. Yeah.
you're a completist. You
Hmm.
would actually want to take a copy that would perhaps be you take the copy because you want to complete the run.
Hmm.
With my first collection, I did that, but with this collection, I haven't. It's not that I want to spend more money, but I won't buy a book that has the considerations that are. If I have to have it the way I want it. I have metamorphosized, or I've turned into a butterfly, chasing
Hmm.
the higher grade material. So I really don't have that many, if any at all. And
I
I'll tell
have
you
a
what I'll do.
bunch that
I'll tell
actually
you what I'll
high
do
grade,
because
but
well,
low price.
I will tell you on a golden age basis. I will tell you. I will look at my registers in on eBay and also on my comic shop, and I'll see how many I actually have, and I will go. But I'm here to tell you, I realize that I really don't have any books that are $50,
I
and
have a whole bunch of LB Cole.
very few that are 100.
I have a bunch of LB Cole covers that are under $20.
See, you're gonna. I'll tell you what. I'll show something, but I'll have you can show those because. But I mean, I honestly I can't play because I don't have them. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
show something. I do
I
have
think you
other stuff
gotta
to show.
test yourself. Test yourself. So we'll see. We'll
I'll
see.
look. I'll
We'll
look.
yeah. We'll give Stephen a bit of a challenge. He's a bit of a snobby guy with his $100 plus books, but
I'm not a snobby guy. I'm the farthest thing. I eschew snobbiness. That's just
I'm
not me
just
at
joking.
all.
I'm joking. I'm joking. So yeah, but stay tuned for that. We'll figure out something. We'll figure out something. It'll be a good show. Whatever we do, we always try to make it fun.
Thanks for
So
coming.
yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Bye bye for now.
See you later.